Good morning, language warriors. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my live show. It's 9:06 a.m. on this Tuesday, June the 13th. Welcome. Hello from Cincinnati, Ohio. Hello, Elaf. Hello, Akito. Hello, Sarah and Fluke. Hello, Atema and Fatima and Kayla. Hello, Miriam. Hello, David from Haiti. And Jum, hello. Hello, hello. Wow, look, we have a lot of people already. That's great. Wow, surprising. Akito is a language warrior. Well, I'm happy to hear that, Akito. Eagle, how am I? I'm pretty good today. I feel pretty good. I woke up with a headache early this morning, but I feel pretty good right now, actually. So, yeah, it's very, the weather here this week, really, really weird. It should be hot. It should be hot, but it has been very, very cool and comfortable. It feels like the middle of spring, but we're almost in summer now. I mean, it feels like the beginning of spring. Not even the middle, the beginning. Right now, it is 60 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 16 degrees Celsius. And the high today is supposed to be 24. And possibly it might rain. So the weather's a little bit weird. It's really weird. So my allergies are also a little bit weird, but other than that, I feel good. And my garden is doing really well, so I'm happy about that because I can finally see the results. I'm eating raspberries from my garden this morning. Hello, Quack. Hello, Anna Paula. Hello, Belen. Kayla, did I eat lunch? No, it's breakfast time here, Kayla. It's 9:08 a.m. So I had breakfast, but my breakfast, I just eat some pistachios and raspberries. Hello, Amena. Yeah, see, my allergies are really bad for some reason, because of the weather, I guess. Hello, Tanya. Hello, Lena. Lena said, my garden is full of snails because of rain. They damage everything. Indeed they do, Lena. And here's the thing. About 3 weeks ago, maybe, I planted a lot of flowers in my meadow garden. And snails ate almost all of them. Overnight. In like one day, they destroyed almost all of my baby flowers. So I had to replant flowers again, but this time I put out a bunch of stuff to kill the slugs. So, I try to be a Buddhist when possible, but when slugs destroy my entire crop, things must be taken into hand. So, yeah. But now I've got a whole bunch of new flowers coming up now. And they're covered in snail trap. So I'm not worried about them. Or I'm not that worried about them. And my vegetable garden looks really good too. It's looking nice. So I'm pretty happy about that. Hello, Ornella. How much do you need to earn to live a comfortable life in the countryside? Tip flip, that depends on where you live in the countryside. America's a big place. So there are many, many different places with countryside. And some of them are very cheap. But you might not want to live there because there's nothing to do. So, I can't answer that question. I can't answer that question. What happened to my voice? Is there something wrong with my voice? You mean my throat? It's just because I have allergies that it's morning, and in the morning it's cold, right? And I don't know if you go camping or not, but when you wake up in the morning, if you go camping, then your head feels kind of full of stuff. And so, well, that's how I feel right now. But I'm fine. Relax. I will try not to cough too much, okay? I'll try not to. I did record, Adam. Thank you very much for the reminder, though. You are really, really, really loyal and helpful. Grace, I will have some jasmine tea later. Hello, Indirjeet. Bellin said, what? I've been clearing the land I bought me. Wow. Well, that sounds exciting, though. Potential when you clear land and you can do something with it. Hello, Arculas. Thank you, Andrew. Hello, my friend. Thank you, Adam. You plan to grind at America. What is my advice for you? Well, I'm not sure what you mean by grind at America. You mean move here and work? With the machine that cuts bad herbs. Oh, I think you mean maybe we call them weed whackers. It's a fun word to say. A weed whacker. You can say a brush cutter too, but a weed whacker is much more fun to say. To whack something means to hit it. So a weed whacker is something that hits the weeds. So, everyone, since I have a nice audience already, I would like to tell you guys something. I want to explain something if you guys don't mind. I get many, many, many emails about lessons, okay? And I want to teach you. I want to help you. But I think you need to understand something about my lessons that are different from other teachers, okay? Most of my students, I only teach them for about 1 month, maybe 2 months. Okay? Now, why? Why do I only teach them for 1 month or 2 months? Anyone? No ideas? I only teach people for 1 month or 2 months because I'm more like a coach. I'm more like a coach or a consultant. Okay? So what I do is I meet you and I find out what you want in your learning. What are your learning goals, right? And I find out what your problems are, and then I tell you how to fix them. And I give you a plan to do it. I can do that in about 4 lessons, usually. Okay? So sometimes I can do it in 1 lesson. So what that means is when you see my price, when you see my price and it says $50 for 50 minutes, that's the reason why. Because you're not going to pay me forever. You're only going to pay me 4 times and then I'm done. Okay? I'm a consultant. I'm a coach. All right? So many people, when I tell them my price, it's $50 for 50 minutes, they say, oh, that's too expensive. I can't possibly afford that. But you are thinking about paying me $50 every week for a year. You only need to pay me $50 for a week for a month. Meaning maybe only 1 time I can meet with you one-on-one for an hour and tell you how I think you can fix your problems. All right? So, if you want lessons, please remember that. All right? Many people I think could benefit from my coaching. All right? If you're looking for a permanent teacher every day to teach you, that's not me. But I have about 5 friends of mine who are really great teachers, and they do all of that teaching. So if you want any kind of lessons, message me. All right? I do coaching and consulting. If you need a long-term teacher, I have teachers who are friends of mine who are very good that I trust. Okay? So, yes, this is expensive. Welcome to the real world. Welcome to America, where everything is expensive. Okay? All right. Would anyone like to ask me any questions? This is English Q&A session. So if you have questions about English grammar or vocabulary or culture or idioms or pronunciation, ask me and I shall help you. Now, see, this is what I can do for you personally. You can get one-on-one with me for 1 hour, and I can help you with your pronunciation problems. I can help you find all of your grammar problems. I can help you figure out how to build your vocabulary better. Okay? Hello, Javad. Is the idiom dig up kind of slang or not? Sam, dig up is not really an idiom. It's a phrasal verb. Okay. And to dig up something means to find something, right? So if I say dig up some dirt on that guy, dig up means find and dirt means something bad that he did in his past. Dig up something bad that he did. Find something bad that he did in his past. Okay, so dig up is usually is a phrasal verb that means to find something, to look for and find something. Okay? And I have a couple of people who have already raised their hand to come talk to me. So let's see who, Josie wants to come talk to me. And Alvin, I'll get to you in just 1 minute. Just wait a minute, all right? Josie, would you like to come to the stage? Hello, Josie. Are you there? Earth to Josie. Come in, Josie. Okay, Josie's not there. So, Alvin, you're up. Alvin. Do I make podcasts? No, not yet. I would like to, but to be honest, I don't even know what I would talk about. I'm not sure. People keep telling me to make a podcast, but I don't know what to talk about. But I may make podcasts about my teaching ideas. That sounds like a good idea. I think I'll do that. Thank you for reminding me. What's the difference between an idiom and a phrase? Sam, idioms are phrases that tell a story. Okay? So, for instance, to kill two birds with one stone. It's a very short phrase, but it tells you a story that teaches you a lesson. Right? So it's telling you we can do one action that will accomplish two things. So by using the story of the stone and the birds, then you can imagine what the meaning is. All right? So idioms usually tell a story of some kind or a lesson of some kind or both. Okay? Well, okay. Now Alvin doesn't want to come either. Is everyone scared today? Let me try Josie one more time. Josie, because I love your name, because it's one of my favorite songs. There's a great band named Steely Dan. Steely Dan. And they have a great song called Josie. And it's so good. Such a good song. And it's a pretty name, so it's a shame. Josie, come on up, Josie. Guo lai. Lai, lai, lai. Let me do one thing here. Turn that off. That should make it better, I think. All right, how about, is it Dehivis? I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Dehivis? Hello, my friend. Hello, Dehivis.
Hi, good morning.
How are you, my friend?
Hi, good morning. I'm very fine today. Thank you for asking me. What about yourself?
I'm pretty good. Am I saying your name correctly? Is it Dehivis?
It's just like David, like Hall.
But how do you pronounce it?
David.
Davis. Wow, that's interesting. The spelling and the pronunciation, very interesting. I like that. Thank you. And where are you from? You're from Colombia. Are you from Bogota or where?
Cartagena.
Cartagena. Okay, all right. I know Cartagena. Do you know why I know Cartagena?
Yes, I know because I was here for one time.
Oh, I know. We talked about this. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I forgot about you, my friend. It's been a long time, so I apologize. Yeah. For everybody else who doesn't know, there's a movie from the 1980s that's a comedy movie that I really enjoyed, and part of the movie takes place in Cartagena, and so that's how I learned about the city. Yeah. Did you ever see the movie?
You told me about that story.
Did you ever get a chance to see the movie?
And yes, I was looking for, but I'm looking for another thing that you recommend me to increase my English. That I was races,
I see.
something like that.
Okay. All right. Well, next time if you get a chance, you should still watch it. I think it's a good movie.
Could you remind me? Could you remind me the name of the
Yeah, yeah,
movie?
yeah. It's Romancing the Stone. Romancing the Stone.
Could you write it down?
Yeah, I wrote it there in the chat. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Romancing the Stone. Funny movie. Michael Douglas and Danny DeVito and who else was in that? What was her name? I can't remember the girl's name. That's sad.
It could be. It could be interesting because Michael Douglas is a great actor.
He is. And this is one of the movies that made him famous.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
definitely. This is one
Now,
of the movies that made him famous. Yeah.
right now, I'm really interested in.
Yeah, yeah. And there are so many funny parts. There's one part in the movie that I love where the two the woman and the man, they're walking in a small village in Colombia somewhere. And they're by themselves and they're walking, and behind them some local people start following them, and they look very scary. These local people look very scary, like they're maybe like a gang or something like that. And so they start walking down the street slowly, and there's some people behind them kind of scary coming up. And he walks up and he goes to the local house to see if he can use a phone or something. And he opens the door, and the guy who's there is he looks like he has no house, like it's nothing, like it's just a poor house. But he's actually a Colombian drug dealer, and when you open the door, it's this huge palace. It's this amazing palace that's beautiful with a pool, and he invites them in. He says, "Oh," and he finds out that it's his favorite author. So it just happens to be that this Colombian drug dealer loves to read romance novels and romance books, and she writes his favorite books. So he loves her, and she's so surprised. It's a really funny movie. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the only thing that I hate about it is, of course, I know
I gotta
that
see it.
I know that not everything in Colombia is about drugs, but unfortunately, the movies do make them out to be like that.
It's
So.
okay, my bro. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but anyway, it's a really funny movie. And there's the drug dealer who runs the place. He's a really nice guy, and he helps them escape from the bad military people or whatever. And he has this truck. He has this awesome truck that's like really super amazing truck, and he calls it My Little Mule. Pepe, My Little Mule. I love that movie. Anyway, Davis, so did you have any questions for me today or something I can help you with? I don't
No,
want to talk
just
about the movie the whole time.
you said wanted to be on the stage because I wanted to say thank you for the last advice, for the previous advice, because now, as you can see, I could finally increase my level in English with your tips. It's around 3 months ago. Now you can see I'm more fluent right now because I follow your steps one by one. Now I'm like fish in the water.
Wow. Wow, everybody. See, now look, that's my proof. That's what I'm trying to tell you, that I am not a teacher that you need to pay for a year. You just need to hire me for one lesson, and I'll help you. I'll give you the tips you need. And if you follow my tips, then you'll do well. And that makes me feel really good, man. So thank you so much for telling me that. And thank you for coming back to tell me that. I always love that.
Yeah.
When somebody comes back and says, hey, I used your tips and they really worked and I got the job or whatever, that makes me feel really, really good. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, man. Just I felt that I was needing to be here to say thank you face to face, and says the other that with this about the acquire a new language, we have to be really disciplined
Yes.
and to do it. like the teacher recommend to us to do it.
Right.
That
Yeah.
was exactly what I did.
Well, thank you very much for that. And again, one thing you need to understand about me, everybody, is I am a self learner. Okay, I am a self learner. I like to teach myself things. So, what I am giving you is I'm giving you the tools that I use to teach myself anything. Now, I just tell you how I do it so you can do it too. And I know you think that you must know every way that you've heard to learn, but maybe not. Maybe I have a few ways that you haven't heard before. So that's why I'm saying, what I do is I teach you how to teach yourself. But like he said, you have to be disciplined. That's why I'm always saying, make a plan. Where is your plan? I need to see a plan. You tell me what your problems are, but then you have no plan, right? So if you say, well, I can't speak well, and I ask you, what's your plan? That's the problem, is people say they know what, I can't do this, I can't speak well, I can't understand them when they speak, whatever. But then you don't figure out, how can I make a plan to fix that problem? That's where I can help you. I have lots of plans.
Yeah, actually, I can remember one thing that you said, that you taught me, and that is living with me forever. That people is all the time looking for what is the best way to learn any language. And you said, I remember that you said like this: every way is
The
a
best
great
way.
way. That
That's right.
depends what works for you.
Right.
And people always want that the teachers give the information right now, but they don't want to find out for themselves.
Right. And that's the thing. I don't have time for you if you don't have the strength to want to learn yourself. I don't baby feed anyone. You're not babies, so I'm not going to baby feed you the information. I will give you the tools and I'll tell you how to use them, and then I expect you to go do it. But that's the thing. You're right. You're right, Davis. There are many people who come here and they want me to just, like a magic wand, they just want me to say, abracadabra, you have perfect
Exactly.
English, No, there are no easy answers, and there is definitely, if you're not willing to be disciplined, you will not be successful. You do have to have discipline to learn anything. So, and again, the way I teach language is the same way I teach music. Right? So if you want to be good as a musical instrument, you must practice. And there are ways you must practice. And if you don't practice, you won't sound good. And if you don't do it in public, you won't be able to do it at all. Right? Being a musician and playing a musical instrument, it's a performance. You're in front of people. You have to know how to be in front of people and speak. Right? So, thank you very much for that.
Always, people when is learning how to speak English, they don't want to do it because they think that they are going to be, or they are going to do in the wrong way. They are afraid to make mistakes. But, when we are babies, we don't mind about if we get wrong. We only do it.
That's
we
right.
Only do it.
That's
For
right.
example, right now, I don't know if I'm doing right, if I'm doing good, or if I'm making mistakes. Just I'm doing. That's the important.
That is the important thing, because language is not about perfection. Language is about communication and expression. So that means that, sure, we all want our language to be the best it can be, and you should always be trying to make it better. But you should remember that the purpose of language is to express yourself. How do you
Exactly.
feel? What do you need? What do you want? Any of those things. That's what language is for. And you don't need perfect language to express yourself well. So,
Exactly. Yes, because for example, I'm gonna give an example to the people is looking at right to us right now. For example, I know many teachers here in Colombia. They call themselves teachers of English, but they are not able to communicate with a native or with people that speak English. They only
right,
know grammar rules, something
right.
like that, but they are not able to communicate
Right.
themselves.
And I know they want they're doing their best. They're trying to be helpful. But you're right. They've forgotten the most important rule of language, which is language should be practical, not technical. Right? Practicality should be more important than technicality. So this is why I always tell people that there are some people who are learning to drive a car, and there are some people who are learning how the engine works. They're reading a book about how the engine works. And that's the way language is. There are some people who are trying to learn how to speak and use the language, and there are some people who are trying to read a book about the grammar, but they can't speak.
Exactly,
And they've
they can't
forgotten. Yeah.
speak and communicate. And
Yeah.
for example, the most important things to me right now is that I'm being able to communicate with you. I understanding you perfectly, clearly. And Nelson, the most curious or funny thing is that I don't know every single word that you are saying, but I understanding you. You said some words that I don't know, but I understanding you
Well,
with the
part
other things that I
that's right.
understand.
That's right. There's context. Context is a lot of that, right?
Exactly.
And
With
then
the
also,
context,
there's another part of this that's also important, everybody. This is the story I like to tell is about when I was a boy, and I remember I opened the book in my house. It was the complete works of Shakespeare, William Shakespeare, and I couldn't understand anything. I couldn't read it. It was because it's Shakespeare. It's Old English. So it's weird, and I didn't understand anything. I remember asking my parents, "Is this English?" Because like I didn't understand anything. And then years later, I was in high school, and my acting teacher told us to go see a performance of Shakespeare. And when I saw the performance, suddenly I understood the words. I could not understand. How do I not know what it means when I read it, but I understand it when I see it? Acting. Acting. They see it on the face, right? So part of the reason why you understand me is my language, but part of the reason you understand me is my body language.
I gonna tell something that happened to me 3 years ago, and I was sit down. I was seated down outside my house, and my daughter come up to me and asked me, "Daddy, I need you help me with an exam of English." Because you are really good at English, because I can see you speak very well with your friends from America, and but I needing help with this exam, and I said, okay, show me it. And when I saw that, oh my God, I had no idea what I had to do here. She asked me, why, daddy, if you are really good at English? But I said here, that, darling, I'm sorry, but I had no idea what I have to do here.
Yeah, well,
I don't know what your teacher wants you do here.
Well, but you know what? That's actually a good lesson for her to learn too. It's a good lesson for people to see an adult say the words "I don't know." In that's good because you could have tried to pretend like you know, or you could have tried to pretend like, "Oh, well, no, I know the answer, but you should do that yourself." But no, you showed humility and you said, "I don't know," but I that's good. You taught her humility that she can say I don't know. And now you can speak and you can speak really, really well. So I'm sure she sees that and she knows now, that language is not just about what's on the paper. That's so she's learned a good lesson from you because she's learning exactly what we're talking about. That language is about practicality, not technicality. That means that maybe you didn't know the answer to that question, but you still speak really well.
Yeah, I think humble is very important
Yeah,
things in this life. Not only for learning English, is for all in
I
our
agree.
life.
I
If
agree.
you are not able to be humble, and for example, I could pretend that I know it, but it's not
Right.
really good, at least
Right,
for my
exactly.
daughter.
But many people do that. Many people do that.
Ex-
So I'm just trying to say, I admire you because you did the right thing. You showed her honesty and you showed her that sometimes an adult doesn't know everything. But when we're kids, we have a feeling that adults know everything. Like they know the answers to everything, don't they? Right? But no, they don't. And it's important for them to realize that just because they're adults, that doesn't mean they know everything yet. So that's good.
yeah,
And you're still learning. You
when
show
you
her you're
start,
learning.
every time that you start your a live a live stream like this live stream,
Live stream.
the notification come up to my phone, and I always sometimes I working, but I put my headphones.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
am I
headphones.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Headphones, and I try to if to be very focused on what you're saying, what you are teaching this time. It's really interesting to me.
Wow.
And at times, many times ago, I tried to be on the stage, but was not possible. Maybe you have a lot of people here writing to you, but just I want to say thank you, Mark.
And I'll say thank you back because it really does.
And
It means a lot to me. There are times when I feel like I want to quit. There are times when I feel like I don't want to come and do the streaming anymore, or maybe I don't have energy. But it makes me feel really, really good when someone tells me that my teaching has really helped them or worked for them. So thank you.
yeah,
And I will ask
and
you to
also
do, can I ask you to do one thing for me though? Can I ask you to
yeah.
please go to my page and make a little post on the first moment? There are many people who leave comments there, and you can leave a comment and say, tell people your story that my teaching has helped you. Yeah.
Share with them
Yes, please. Yeah.
my experience with you.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
that's that's what I
is so
want.
nice.
I'm trying to collect 1,000 stories. That's what I really want. I want to get 1,000 stories from people about how my teaching has helped them. So
Okay,
please
and
do
just I
that for
want to
me.
say something else to you. Just I want to say to you that I keep in mind one thing, and never change your philosophy, because this could be change the life of many people for good. And I think because if change mine for good, it could be possible for other people that are struggling with learn this beautiful language that is English. English is the key. It's the key for the future for people. People is struggling with this, and sometimes it's sad. It's sad because people they always want to pull out money from the people that are struggling with this.
Well,
So keep your philosophy.
Davis, my heart is big right now. My heart is really big right now and warm, and I almost want to cry. Really, I mean, it means a lot to me. It really means a lot to me, so much because yeah, I'm working really
And
hard,
for me too.
and it means a lot to me when I hear that somebody is thankful. So thank you.
And and I didn't tell you the best part of this story. Right now, I have my own institute to learn and to help people with English. I have engineers, doctors,
Wow.
and teachers here, and
Wow,
I would
man.
like you be one day when I meeting with them, because all of them are professionals, and they are military, doctors, engineers, and they are really thanks, because I always try to talk about you to them.
Oh, man, I don't know what to say. I swear I am gonna cry. Jeez, like I really feel that's why I'm doing this. I want to help people. You know, that's the point. Is I'm trying to give people power to help themselves. You know, teachers. If you're just trying to just find a teacher who can teach you forever, that's good. That's wonderful. Those kinds of teachers are good too. But I'm just trying to give you a piece of advice that can change the way you think about learning. And maybe that will be very useful for you. So thank you so much. I really, wow,
I
man.
going to ask you excuses because I am teacher on the stage, but I think that it was not able to be on the stage again, because I was trying to be, but I was not possible to be here. So when you said my name, I was about to go run out to look for my teacher, but I thought this is more important than
Wow.
now like this. So I'm gonna ask you excuses for to be on teacher here.
Wow. I'm overwhelmed. I'm really overwhelmed. Yeah. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very, very much. And that
And right
really,
now I'm about to leave home. I need to travel to another city because, as I told you, I have my own institute and I'm about to get there.
wow. Well, good luck to you. And I would love to meet, you know, if you want to do a live stream with the rest of your people in your institute sometime, you tell me and we can set that up. You know, you let me know when you want to meet, and I can do something where I can meet your students. Okay.
Can I write you down when I done the stage?
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
could.
Please send me a message and send me an email too. Send me an email if you wouldn't mind. Here is my email
Okay.
address. There you go. There's my email address. You can email me there, and then send me a message too. I want you to email me only because sometimes I get too many messages and then I can't find your message. But send me an email, and then I will definitely be able to contact you. Okay,
Okay, I will.
and we'll
Thank you
stay in
for your
contact.
time, for letting me here on the stage. I gotta go now.
Thank you, man. Take care. I'll see you next time. Okay. All right.
Thank you, bro.
Bye bye. Wow. I'm just kind of going to take that in for a minute. Sometimes I want to quit, but that helps a lot. Yeah. Wow. Really. I don't know what to say. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, I do need a tissue. It's a really good feeling. See, this is why I just don't understand why people don't want to help people more often. The feeling you get when you get to help somebody it's really a special feeling. So, try to help more people, everybody. Victor. Ah, Victor, I did see you there. Hello, my friend. Good to see you again. Yeah, wow. I'm really overwhelmed. Well, let's see. Let's talk to somebody else. How about Giuseppe? Giuseppe, would you like to come up and talk with me? Giuseppe, would you like to come up? All right, well, maybe I'll try you again in a few minutes. You might be busy now. How about Nuha? Hello, Nuha.
Hello.
How are
How's
you?
it going? Good. What about you, teacher?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good right now. What can I do for you today? Do you have a question for me or something I can do to help you?
Yeah, please. Actually, I have a little brother, and I try to learn him the letter English, but actually, I can't like. Someone tell me just about the song, but when he just keep the song, and after that I just ask him what the difference between this letter and this letter. He just forget. Tell me, I just keep that song. I don't know about the difference between that letters. So can you tell me about what is the easiest way to learn to teach the children letter English, if you don't mind?
Yeah, that's a good question. Sure, I like that question. Okay, well, yeah, the A B C D E F G. That's the song you mean?
Yeah.
Right.
And the letter and word, like a apple, like that.
Right. Apple.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I would do is I was going to suggest when you do it, you have to play it like it's a game, right? So what I would do when I did this with my kindergarten students is we sing the song first all together, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? We do all the song. And then I walk around the room and I point to somebody and I say, A,
Apple.
apple, right. They have to say apple. That's exactly right. And then you just walk around the room and pick somebody. But you could do that with him by choosing, a random letter. Don't do it in order, so do R, 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 roof or something, right? Or whatever word you're using, okay?
Yeah.
And try to create a game. Nuha, learning is all about trying to find creative ways to learn. Okay. And the secret of being a good teacher is trying to look at somebody and say, how can I create some little game or games that all teach the same thing over and over again, but just a different game. That way you don't get bored. Right. So, you could make a list of words, all the A words that he needs to know, right? And then give him a list, a vocabulary list of all the A words, B words, C words. Don't give him too many, but maybe 5 of each, right? 5 or 10 of each letter, right? And then play that game with him. And he can choose a different one each time, right? So if you say B, 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 ba, 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 B, ba, he could say balloon, or he could say banana, or he could say, whatever, any B word that you gave him, right? But make it fun.
I will try, teacher, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
So I give him 5 or 4 words, and he kept, or he just try to give me the 4 or 5 words that start with B or A.
Right. So you can give him a list of, let's say, 5 A words and 5 B words and 5 C words, and that way he's not always doing apple, right? He can do any A letter, any A word, right? That you gave him on that list. All right. And that way he's learning a large number of vocabulary, and you can still play the game, but there's only one person, right? So usually I only have one word for each letter, but that's because I'm doing this with a classroom, right? But if you're doing it with one kid, I would just do it with one kid and just do multiple words per letter. Right? So do 5 different A words and 5 different B words and 5 different C words. And then that way it's like a game for him, and tell him you can never use the same one twice. Right? So he can't say apple twice. He has to do a different one the next time.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Be creative. Yeah. Be creative. That's the secret, yeah. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much, teacher.
No problem. And then just pay attention to the things he likes. How old is he?
It's 7.
7. So pay attention to the things he likes all day. Anything he likes. Food, music, TV, cartoons, whatever. And anything he likes, those are teaching moments. So if you see something he likes, if he likes cartoons, teach him the word cartoon, right? So if he wants to watch cartoons, you have to tell him, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that unless you say it in English. So if you want to watch cartoons, you have to ask me, may I watch cartoons, please? In English, right? You know, that way it forces him to say, like, I really want to watch cartoons, so now I have to speak English.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay, thank you, teacher.
No problem. Any other questions for me?
Yeah, this is a question about me, actually. If
Okay.
you don't mind, I want to ask. When I talk, sometimes I feel nervous because I can make the order between the words. Like when I just start to speak, I know the words, but I feel sometimes more nervous if this is words in the good sentence, in the
right order.
In the right order. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's good news. There's good news, Nuha. It usually doesn't matter. So what I mean is, if your problem is that you don't know which order to put the words in when you speak, right? In English, the truth is, in most cases, it probably won't matter. If they're in the wrong order, they will still probably understand your meaning, right? So they will listen for the context words that make it clear. So if they're saying, if you're saying, I'm not going to the park, but you say, I'm park not going to, they're still going to understand you. Right? Like, do you understand what I mean? Like, even if the words are out of order, we'll probably go like, oh, I think I know what they meant to say. And so they'll still get you. So that's why you should relax and not worry about that. And there's another thing you need to know. 40% of native speakers are afraid to speak in public.
Oh.
So what does that mean? Why? Why would native speakers be afraid to speak English in public?
Yeah, why?
Because your problem is not pronunciation. Your problem is not grammar. Your problem is not vocabulary. Your problem is fear. That's your only problem, okay? So anyone who's afraid of speaking is just afraid. It's not about why. It's just the fear that's the problem. Right? So native speaker or non-native speaker, you just need to get over your fear. And you need to remember that your voice is a musical instrument. And if you play a musical instrument, you can't be a musician and not perform. Right? Performing is part of the job, right? So every time you speak, you're performing. All right? And just be confident with your words, and remember that every musician, the first time they were on the stage, they were scared. And the next time they
Yeah.
were scared too. And the next time a little bit less. And the next time a little bit less. But now
Right.
I've been on the stage thousands of times now. I'm not scared anymore. That's home.
Yeah.
All right. But
Right.
the only way to get there is to go through it. You can't go around it. You have to go through your fear to get over your fear.
True.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
cool.
The only way to become comfortable is to be uncomfortable a bunch of times. Yeah.
So
Okay.
Thank you so much.
No
teacher.
problem. You're very welcome, Nuha. And is that your little brother in the background screaming?
No.
I can hear somebody back there. They sound like they need some English lessons too. So go teach them.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for coming on my stage, and I'll see you next time. Okay, Nuha?
See you.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right. Let's see. Let me try Giuseppe again. Giuseppe, would you like to come up and talk with me? Raise your hand if you want to come talk to me. Hello, Giuseppe. There he is.
Hello, Todd.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Ah, there we are. Yes, but I'm not Todd. I'm Mark. You know that.
Okay, Mark. Sorry.
That's okay, Giuseppe. Todd is the other guy who's really popular here.
But the camera is off.
The comments are off. What?
The camera is.
Oh. Your camera, you mean? Your camera.
Yes, my camera.
Do you want it on or do you want it off?
It's the same for me.
Oh, okay. Well,
okay.
it doesn't matter to me either. I don't.
What's up?
It's up to you. It's up to you.
Okay, it's a problem with my phone.
Ah, okay. No problem. That's all right. No problem. So, Giuseppe, did you have a question for me or something I can help you with today?
No, I want to talk with you.
Oh, well, great. Then let's talk. What would you like to talk about? Giuseppe, I think the connection is a little bit bad. Giuseppe, can you hear me? Hello? Ah, Giuseppe, what happened? Giuseppe, are you there? Earth to Giuseppe. Come in, Giuseppe. Ah, I don't know what happened. Can anyone hear him? Yeah, I can't hear him either. Giuseppe, I'm gonna let you go, pull you off the stage. Try to raise your hand again. I'll bring you up again. We'll try again, all right? Let me try somebody else while we get Giuseppe a minute. We'll give him a minute. How about Helen? Helen, would you like to come on the stage? Raise your hand if you would like to come on the stage. I've got Helen here, or is it Shall something? Hello. Can you hear me? Hello, hello. Hello. There you are.
Yes, I can hear you.
Neo Ingwen Mingzama.
Yeah, Zoe.
Zoe. Okay. Hello, Zoe. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What can I do for you today? Did you have a question for me or something I can help you with?
No, this is my first time to come to the stage. I want to improve my English speaking.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
great. Well, you look like you speak pretty well already, I think.
Wow, thank you.
You know what? I'll tell you one really important thing, everybody. I can tell how good your English is sometimes before you speak, because I can look at you, and if you are smiling, then I know you have confidence. So you're smiling, and that tells me that you have confidence in your language, which means that your English is pretty good. Just having confidence gives you 50% better English, everybody. So if you don't have confidence, then everything you say comes like, I don't know if maybe today should I talk like this? Very weak, like you don't feel like you're good, like you don't feel confident, but you came on the camera and the first thing you had a big smile, and that's good. Yeah.
Thank you. Because in my life, I like to speak in Chinese. In my childhood, I want to be a host in the TV.
A TV host, okay.
So I can express myself in Chinese, but my English is so poor.
Okay, so there's one really important secret that you need to know if you want to speak English well, or any language well. You must think in English. So, 如果你要说英文，你需要想英文。如果你要说中文，你需要想中文。So, if you're going to speak English, you must think in English. But many people don't do that. They think in Chinese and then 翻译 translate. Right? So, 不可以，that's too slow. That's too slow. Okay? So, the first thing you need to do is learn how to think in English. But it's easy. You just need to start with very simple English, right? So everywhere you go, every day, I want you to think about the questions who, what, when, where, why, and how. Who, what, when, where, why, how. Everywhere you go. So if you go to the grocery store, I want you to think, who is in the grocery store? Who owns the grocery store? Who is going to the grocery store? That's a who question. Hello, Helen. That's okay. That's all right. Helen, I'm just going to mute you for just a second while I finish talking with Zoe here, okay? So first start with who. Then you can start with what. What is in the grocery store? What do you see? What is a grocery store for? Any what question that you can think of, just try to answer it in your mind in English. Okay? So, all day, just try to think in English. Go to 7-Eleven. Next time you go to 7-Eleven, just think in English for the time that you're in 7-Eleven, right? What do you need to buy? 这是太贵了. Oh, it's very expensive. Why is that so expensive? You know, something very simple. Just try that. Then you have to do that more and more every day. Okay. But it's actually very easy. You wake up in the morning and you say, oh, well, I'm hungry. Just think in English the simple things, like I need to put on my clothes, I need to brush my teeth, I need to make breakfast, I need to go to work, I'm late for work. Start with the simple things about your life and who, what, when, where, why, how. Just try to answer those questions all the time, everywhere, at the park, at work, at the store. Use the simple English you know. Use it in your mind, okay? Because guess what? If you learn how to think in English, then you can practice your English all day. That's the difference, okay? That's the biggest difference between my teaching method and other people's teaching method. I'm trying to encourage you to learn how to change the language in your mind. And that means that you can practice like it's the same as immersion, right? Immersion means when you move to a country. So maybe you want to move here because, if I move to America, then yeah, my English will be better because I hear it and I see it and I speak it every day. But not everybody can move to a country. But everybody can learn how to think in that language. So all day, I try to walk around and think in Chinese. I walk around all day and I think in Chinese. What do I need to do? And sometimes I don't know how to say it. That's good. That tells me what I need to learn. This is something I want to know how to say, but I don't know how to say it. So now I know what I need to learn. And one more tip. If you're thinking in English, I don't care about your grammar. I don't care about your grammar. The exercise is not about grammar. The exercise is about trying to get your mind to switch languages. Okay? So I don't want you to focus on the grammar so much that you worry too much. Okay? If you worry too much, then you can't think or speak well, right? So relax and don't worry about the grammar too much. Okay? Grammar will fix itself. It will get better in time. Okay? So don't worry too much about it. And then just learn how to think in English all day as much as you can. I tell everybody that 50% of your practice should be thinking practice. Okay? So if you want to do 2 hours of reading and writing and listening and speaking, that's great. But if you're going to do 2 hours of that, then that means you need to do 2 hours of thinking in English. Okay? But that's not that hard. I'm just asking you to watch TV for 1 hour, but think in English for that hour. Okay? As much as you can, watch TV for 1 hour and then think in English. And then do your house chores, right? Maybe you need to wash the dishes and you need to clean the sink and you need to, wash the bathroom or clean the bathroom, right? Do that, but think in English for 30 minutes when you're doing that. All right? That's all. Just do your normal life, but think in English. Okay? All right?
Thank you.
You're
thank
very
you.
welcome, Zoe. And hello, Helen. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. What can
How
I
are
do
you?
for you
Yeah.
today?
Sorry.
What can I do for you today?
Actually, I'm preparing for my IELTS and TOEFL test, so I wanna know my English level is like
How is your
Yeah.
English level? Okay.
Yeah, how
well,
is my English
it's really hard to say, Helen, because those tests, I feel like those tests they're not a really great way of telling. Sometimes I see somebody who has like a 7.5, but then I talk to them and I'm kind of like, really? You got a 7.5? and then I talk to some people who got only a 6 or a 5.5, but actually they're really good, sometimes. So I don't like to think about those tests too much, in that way, but I know you need to take them, right? So,
Yeah.
so that's not the focus. The focus, you just need to worry about, how can you get the best score you can get, right? So, one, do you have preparation books?
preparation book? No.
You
but,
need them.
Actually, I was working in Qatar, which is in the Middle East, the country. I was working there 2 years, and there are many nationalities people there. So I have heard many accents.
Yeah,
like
that's good.
English accents.
Good.
That time, I can speak English, well, or no, I cannot say it well, but my vocabulary is not that big, so some academic words maybe I don't know. Yeah, and now my problem is TOEFL and the IELTS. They have this grammar. They need grammar
Right.
knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So but really, I already forget this grammar.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I know.
For me too.
That's hard for me too, Helen, because that's the thing. I hate I hate those tests because I don't want to teach English for testing. I want to teach English for life. I'm trying to teach English for life, not for a test. And those tests don't think about real life. They just don't. So what you need is the proper preparation books. Okay. Now, I usually like Barron's. Barron's is a good company.
Barons.
Yeah. Barron's or what's the other one? Now I can't remember the name of the other company, but it doesn't matter. Barron's is really good. You can get Barron's. And yeah, those preparation books, I don't know how anyone can pass those tests without those books. Because the test is really hard, it's really big, it's really long, and you need a lot of practice to do it. So the books are really important, okay? So get Barron's and get some test books. And then, if you can afford it, get a good IELTS prep teacher, okay? Now, I know one. I don't do that myself. I don't like to teach IELTS prep myself anymore. But I have a friend of mine who's a Canadian, and that's his specialty, is teaching for the IELTS and the TOEFL. And he's very good, and he sounds just like me. He has more teaching experience than I do. So he's quite good. If you need a teacher, you can message me, and I can, put you in contact with him. Obviously, it's not free, but he's really good. He is trained to do that job. That's why I don't want to do it, because if somebody needs that help, I want to give them a teacher who's trained to do that thing. So I can help you with the IELTS, sure, but I'm not trained to do it.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
All right, I can understand. And one more question is on the examiner side. Oral English and writing. I mean the grammar and the speaking, which is more important on the teacher side.
On the teacher side.
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, on the teacher side or on the student side, I still think that if you're talking about language, practicality is really important. I mean, honestly, I feel like it doesn't matter what subject it is, science, math, language, music, every subject needs to be taught with some level of practicality. You need to teach someone how this can be useful in the real world. And it's so sad how there are so many teachers that seem like they just don't even know all the ways that this could be useful to people in the future, right? So, for example, music. Many people, for example, in Taiwan when I was teaching there, I would ask the kids if they play a musical instrument, and many of them would say, no, my parents won't let me because I need to study. I can't take a musical instrument. That's too much time. I need to study. But all of the tests prove that people who take musical instruments, their brains work better. They learn things that make them more smart, and you'll do better on the test. So it doesn't make sense, right? So there are things you learn from, music or whatever that can help you with those things, right? So from a teacher's standpoint, I think it's always important to try to be practical, right? Yeah, you have to be practical. Technicality is important to know, but it shouldn't be the focus. The practicality should always be the focus, right? So I kind of try to think about it like a magnifying glass, right? And the grammar and all the rules, that's the glass. That's the glass itself. But the light has to go through the glass, and then it has to focus into one point. That point is practicality. That's the usage of all the knowledge. So if you have a magnifying glass, but you're not focusing the light, then all that knowledge is worth nothing. Right? So that's why I'm saying that the knowledge you learn is all great, but it all has to be focused into a practical light that can be used.
Oops.
Okay? Can you hear me? Am I frozen?
不是我的问题吧
No, 没有了。等我一下。
？Frozen.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody. Hold on. Come on.
Helen, talk to. Embarrassing. 你说单口相声吧。哦，
I'm back.
喝口蔬菜汁压压惊。I'm
不好意
drinking
思
this.
I'm here. 我来了，不好意思。I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, sometimes the internet, I don't know why, sometimes everything gets frozen and I have to reload everything. So I apologize about that.
No worries.
So I hope you heard what I was talking about, though, just, about being practical. From a teacher standpoint, if you're not showing them how to be practical, then you're wasting your time, right? And that's how I feel about every math class I ever took. Every math class I ever took was all learning the technical, but never showing anyone how it could be practically used in your life. And that's sad. It's math. Math is everywhere. It's used all the time. But why wouldn't you show someone how math can be used all the time, right? So I had to learn that lesson. There's math in music. There's math in drumming. There's science in drumming. I had to figure that out. It was like, wait a minute. Wow, look, if I had learned that, the angle of impact. Angle of impact is all about physics, right? And the angle of impact has to do with how much force is dissipated. Well, that's what I do when I hit things. Everything I do is angle of impact, and it's all about force and, velocity and physics, which is all math. And somebody could have gotten me very excited about learning if they had shown me the physics and math of music back then, So as a teacher, I'm always trying to figure out, does my student know why they're learning? Because if they don't know why, and many students don't know why they're learning, then they don't really have a passion for learning. Right? You have to tell them why they're learning, and then they find a passion for learning. But so many students, I would ask them, why are you learning English? Because my parents want me to. Because my parents said I needed to get into a good school. That's not that's not for you. I want to know why you want to know English, So that's the difference. My job as a teacher is easy if my students want to learn. But if the students don't want to learn, that's when my job is really hard. So, practicality. Find the way to focus the magnifying glass, focus the light. All right?
Okay.
Okay, Helen, you're very welcome, and thank you very much for coming on my stage. Thanks for those questions, and I'll see you next time, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, I've got time for one more. I have time for one more person. Let's see. Neil, can you come back and raise your hand in about 30 minutes? I have a second live stream starting in about 30 minutes, Neil, but I have a couple people here in Asia that want to come talk to me, and it's really late in Asia. So I'm going to try to get them up. But if you want to talk to me, you can, if you can just come back since you're in Brazil. All right. So let me see what I can do here to help. Let's try Coco. Coco, you want to come up? Coco, or how about I have time to help one more person. How about Solji? Solji Shin? Hello, Solji.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. What can I do for you today?
So I have a question about how to speak English fast because I speak Korean language because I'm from South Korea, and even when I speak in Korean, I think slowly and I speak slowly because it helps me prepare what to say in an like eloquently.
Right.
So that's my habits, and it's really hard to shake it off. But I always realize that people who speak English tend to speak so quickly, and I want to do the same as them, but it's really hard. How
Okay.
can I practice? That's my question.
Well, let me help you because you do what I do. I think the same way as you. I don't want to speak quickly. I try to be careful about my words and I consider my words before I say them. It's kind of important when you're a teacher. You have to think about your words before you say them. So, many people come to my live streams and they ask me about, how to speak English faster, or do all people speak English fast? And I need to tell you that no, not everyone speaks English fast, and there is no relationship between good English and fast English. Okay? Some of the best speakers in the world speak slowly. Okay? So it's more like music, right? Is fast music the only good music? No, of course not. That's a silly way to think about music. That means the slow music is not good now? No. Music and language are the same. When you speak slowly, it's one kind of mood. When you speak quickly, it's another kind of mood. Okay, so they're moods. They're moods. That's all. And quite honestly, you don't really need to speak fast ever. And many people think that fast English is better English, but no. The slower you speak, the more meaning your words have. The faster you speak, the less meaning your words have. So if I speak like this, then my words really have no meaning and you won't really pay attention to them. But if I speak like this, then you'll pay attention to my words. So speak like an actor, all right? Now, when I was 15, I took an acting class at my school, and I remember I got on the stage and I was reading whatever it was, I don't remember what, but I was reading it, and my teacher was like, slow down, slow down, you're reading too fast, man. This is a human being talking. You're not talking like a human being. Talk like a human being. Speak with emotion and speak with careful thought about your words, right? So if you naturally already think like that and you naturally already talk like that, then I will tell you, please don't change. Okay? I think that you don't need to speak quickly. You really don't. Just like in music, it's not about speed. It's about control. You need control of your words, not speed. So you need to be able to speak well slowly, medium, and fast. But the truth is, fast speech is not very useful most of the time. You think it's common, and it is, but not as common as you might think. And it's not a rule. There's no rule. Like when you come to America, they're not going to stop you and say, I'm sorry, you speak too slowly. You have to go now. No, if you come here, you can speak whatever speed you want. That's okay. All right. But the most important thing is, can people understand you or not? Right. So when I was a boy, there was a TV commercial for these little toy cars called Micro Machines. And they hired this guy. Let me see if I can find it. I'll find this old vintage commercial and we can watch it really quickly because it's really funny. They hired a guy who speaks English, and he, at the time, I don't know if he still is, but at the time, he was the fastest speaker of English in the world. And so they paid him to do this commercial, and the commercial is him speaking fast the whole time. So let's watch. From 1987. One moment, everybody.
At Spectrum, we're always working to bring you
No commercials. Okay, let's see. Share screen. Skip ad. Here we go. Oops. Oh, no. Let's try it again.
This is the Micro Machine Man presenting the most midget miniature motorcade of Micro Machines. Each one has dramatic details, terrific trim, precision paint jobs, plus incredible Micro Machine pocket playsets. There's a police station, fire station, restaurant, service station, and more. Perfect pocket portables to take any place. And there are many miniature playsets to play with, and each one comes with its own special edition Micro Machine vehicle and fun, fantastic features that miraculously move. Raise the boat lift at the airport marina, man the gun turret at the army base, clean your car at the car wash, raise the toll bridge. And these playsets fit together to form a Micro Machine world. Micro Machine pocket playsets, so tremendously tiny, so perfectly precise, so dazzlingly detailed, you'll want to pocket them all. Micro Machines and Micro Machine pocket playsets sold separately from Galoob. The smaller they are, the better they are.
Ah, what just happened? Sol Ji-shin, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so yeah, did you hear that commercial? I don't know why it wouldn't show the screen properly. Yeah, something's weird with my program now. But anyway, you could hear it though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he
I couldn't understand.
Exactly, you couldn't understand. And the truth is, I think many Americans couldn't understand either. The point was to make people laugh because of how fast he's speaking. Okay? So no, that's not normal. That's not normal at all, okay? But actually, Solji, one of the things I tell people about English is if you want to sound better in English, you need to learn the difference between two Italian words. They're music words. One of those words is staccato, and the other one is legato. So staccato is an Italian word that means short and quick and sharp. Okay? So in music, staccato sounds is very sharp, like that, right? And then legato is the opposite, means long and flowing. So legato is long and flowing like this, right? So this is useful to think about in language because some languages are more staccato and some languages are more legato. So, for example, Vietnamese is a pretty staccato language. When I hear Vietnamese, I hear it's very, very short, very sharp sounds, you know? But Italian and English, they're more long and flowing, right? So when you speak your words, try to think about how you can make them connected and flowing and legato. Like that, all right? It's almost more like singing. It's a little bit more like singing in a way. Okay? And sometimes English will sound better if you can just understand that other languages may have a different rhythm than English, right? So if your natural language, if the native language you speak is sharper, then when you speak English, you need to think about being more flowing. Okay? Japanese also is pretty staccato. Also, that's right, Shizuka. Yeah, Japanese is pretty staccato. Korean, not
Very
too
monotonous.
well, no, I wouldn't say it's monotonous, but I think it's got a pretty average rhythm. Like, I don't think the rhythm is very, very obvious in one way or another.
Right.
Chinese is kind of the same way. There's not like a real specific rhythm to it. But some languages, they're very, very sharp. Hindi also very fast. Like, if you listen to anybody who's speaking Hindi, it's like very, 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 very fast. It's like amazing how fast their mouths move. But again, just thinking about your language more like music. How's the flow? What does the rhythm sound like? And that's really important. So you can learn this by listening to audiobooks. Okay, or any watching any TED Talks or things like that. Watch how people speak and listen to the rhythm and the flow, and pay attention to those two words, staccato and legato, to try to see, because you can also use those ideas when you want to make a point. So for example, if I speak like this, then you know I'm being more serious. Right? That's staccato. But if I speak like this, then you know I'm being more relaxed and more calm. Right? So even the rhythm of how you speak English can affect the tone. So that's why I tell people that English is not a tonal language, but it is kind of an emotionally tonal language. Right? So if I use a certain way of speaking, then you can change the tone. So if I speak like this, then I'm very serious about something. But if I speak like this, then I'm not serious and I'm more calm and relaxed. Rhythm. That's why it's good to learn English from a drummer. Okay, so think about the rhythm and just relax, and don't try to speak fast. Try to speak well. The goal is not to speak fast. The goal is to speak well, and speed is not the number one concern. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. It's really good that you liken it to music, because I majored in piano when I was in
Well, then
high school.
you know all those words.
Yeah, and the reason why I fell in love with English was exactly because of the same reason. Because I felt the English flow is more like music, and I really liked it. So
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Then now you know. Yeah, a lot of my teaching ideas for language come from music. Yeah. All right, Solji. So thank you so much for coming on my stage, and make sure you follow and come back and see me again, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
take
you
care.
so much.
Bye-bye. All right. Listen, everybody, it's 10:38 and I need to take a break because I have another live stream starting in about 20 minutes. But please, 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 if you didn't already, hit the follow button and please try to share. Let me type those words for you. Legato and staccato. Legato means long and flowing, and staccato means short and sharp. Okay? So, it's 10:39, and again, I need to end this live stream because I have a second live stream starting in just about 20 minutes. All right, I'm going to take a short break, and then I'll be back. So, if you have more questions or you want to come on stage and talk to me, then you can. Just give me just a few minutes to take a short break, okay? So, thanks everybody for watching and following, and I will see you guys back here shortly. All right? Okay, I'll see you guys soon. Thanks again, everybody. Bye-bye.